Okay, I'll be honest with you guys. You guys are freaking driving me crazy. Look, I've been making videos here on YouTube for something like 8 years, and most of those videos are about dropshipping. Quite honestly, almost everything that you need to be successful with dropshipping are available in my free YouTube videos. I do this completely for free, giving this to you guys. It doesn't cost you anything to watch these videos. You can get pretty much all of the information you need from them. And yet still I get questions like this, and it's costing you guys so much money. It is preventing you guys from getting started. It's the number one mistake I see with drop shipping. Look at this. Look, so these are just the comments I've seen this past weekend. I don't really answer questions over the weekend, but I get caught up on Monday. So I'm recording this on a Monday morning, and I'm going through all these questions from the weekend. I'm seeing the same question like 5 freaking times, and I'm seeing it happen asked so many times frequently. So here it is. Here's one of them. What if the customer sees the Amazon label that they whatever? Basically saying you order it from Amazon, ship it to your eBay customer. Are they going to see that the item came from Amazon? Amazon label, an invoice in there saying it came from Amazon. So many people asking this. This guy asked it as well, pretty much the same question. This person asked it, pretty much the same question. This question I get so often that I have a script I use for it that is copy and paste. I give the same answer for all of them because I get this so many times. And for some reason, I'm getting it more and more recently. You guys are just getting stuck with this. But the truth is, customers don't care about this. Customers don't care that the item is arriving in a box from like Amazon or Walmart or wherever else. They just don't notice. And I think that's because they're used to eBay sellers who sell on so many different marketplaces like eBay, like Amazon, maybe even Walmart, or they reuse boxes. Customers don't care. And inside these packages, the price is not included. There's no invoice in there revealing how much you paid. So customers just don't notice. They don't complain about it. They don't write negative feedback about it. Most of the time, the overwhelming majority of the time. Does it sometimes happen? Yes. When it does, we just respond to them and say, hey, look, we sell on a multitude of different marketplaces like Amazon. Some of our items are stored at Amazon. So if you got a package from Amazon, that is why. That's the only reason. But that isn't even the relevant part. That isn't, look, I just gave you the answer to that, but that's not the important part. The important part here is that so many people are getting hung up on these little issues like invoices or what's on the box, and they're using that as an excuse not to get started. And that's what bugs me so much, is that they're not getting started because they're getting caught with these roadblocks that aren't really roadblocks, right? Looking back, I was worried about this stuff too, I'll admit, right? But looking back now, these weren't roadblocks. These were like little divots in the road that I just were able to step over. You are not going to have 100% of this planned out before you get started. But every step of the way, you are going to learn and you are going to adapt and you are going to be able to overcome any sort of obstacles that you have as you go along. But I see so many people who are just not willing to do this. So here's another comment that for some reason, I get asked this question very, very often, and I just do not understand. I'll be honest, I don't understand the question. You have to kind of think about this yourself. I give you everything, but still people aren't getting this, and still people, how do I say this nicely? You kind of have to think a little bit, right? Use your own brain a little bit as you're going into this. So this is the question I get more often than I would expect. But basically the question is, how are you making any profit if you sell it for the same price as Walmart? So in other words, you have the item from Walmart, you list it onto eBay, you're selling it there. Obviously, we are going to sell it for more money on eBay. We're not going to sell it for the same price. So that's why I don't understand this question, because obviously we are going to sell it for more money on eBay. So it's sort of a non-question, right? It's a question that's not a real question because it's based on the premise that we're selling it for the same price when we're not. So that's what I mean, like, don't get hung up on this stuff, right? Use your brain a little bit. Your brain will tell you, oh, obviously I have to sell it for more money, right? And that's what I talk about in my videos. I started saying that in my videos, that when we list it for sale, we're going to list it for more, because I surprisingly get this question more often than I would think. But again, it's irrelevant. The relevant part is that you're getting hung up. You're using this as an excuse not to start. And I know that is the case because I see people like this who said, and I'm not calling this person now specifically. They said they started trying to dropship using TikTok with AutoDS, but it was a nightmare. Errors, obstacles. They don't know how someone can proceed with this. So, I'm going to take a step back a little bit. I sympathize with people like this, right? And I'm glad this person actually got started and actually tried it. But you are going to have some obstacles as you go along. But if you give up, then you're never going to be successful. And unfortunately, reading this comment, what I see is that this person, it sounds like they chose the hard way of doing this. So they were trying to dropship onto TikTok through Shopify on AutoDS. And that is an old way of doing it that doesn't work anymore. Or sorry, it does work, but it's not the most streamlined way of doing it. You can dropship directly on TikTok using AutoDS. So at least this person got started, but what I like to see are people who get started and then ask good questions along the way. So for instance, where is the question here? Yeah, so this person right here, right? They're drop shipping. They saw on my videos, and in the video I mentioned how I no longer drop ship from Home Depot. So they say, oh, well, why don't I see on AutoDS I can drop ship from Home Depot, so why don't you? I think that's a really good question. It means you kind of did your own research, you looked into it yourself, you tried it yourself, and now you're just moving along and asking clarification as you move along. This person is going to succeed because they're actually going for it, getting started and making progress and learning as they go along. Unfortunately, like this person, they tried. It doesn't sound like they really follow through completely, because if they did and started asking questions, they would have realized, oh, I don't need to use Shopify to dropship on TikTok. I can do it directly onto TikTok, and it probably would have eliminated all of the nightmares that they had. So I'm not saying that questions are bad. Like, keep the questions coming. But it's going to help me, it's going to help you a lot if you actually get started, because then you're going to be asking the right questions, right? Most of the questions I showed you today are not the right questions. The right questions are the ones that come up along the way that you can't figure out, or maybe you just want a little help figuring out, like this person did. And I know some of you are getting this. Like this person right here said, wow, this is a game changer. Watch this video. You made it look really simple. Thanks for sharing. And I appreciate comments like this. I really do. But I'm also happy to answer questions. I don't want to give you the impression that I'm not. I'll show you guys one more comment that really frustrated me today. And maybe I was a little bit too harsh on this person. This person said, okay, these videos help him, as in me, make money on ads and from the software that I recommend. People are not as gullible given today's egg prices. Yeah, so what bothers me about this one is not even the fact that they're accusing me of, I don't even know what they're accusing me of, right? What they're trying to say with this. That's not what bothers me. What bothers me about this is that his name is literally No Excuses, and he's literally making excuses. He's saying he's not going to get started because I made this video where I make money from YouTube from it. And that's just ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, right? Yes, I make money from YouTube. Is it a lot? No. It's not a lot of money. I cannot live off of how much I make from YouTube, but I do make something from YouTube. And I make money as an affiliate for the different software that I talk about in my videos. But anyone can be an affiliate for the software. And I could be an affiliate for any software out there. In fact, some of the software out there have better deals for affiliates than the ones I recommend, but I don't recommend them because I don't like that software. I don't think it's good software. I'm only showing you guys in the videos the software that I actually like. Again, all this is not really important. The important thing is that this person, No Excuses, is literally making excuses and not getting started. They're talking about something that's totally unrelated to them making money with dropshipping, right? They're saying, oh, because Paul makes money from YouTube videos, then I'm not going to dropship. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And then they start talking about egg prices, and that's where they really lose me. So I think I was a little bit too harsh, but this was the response I left them, because I think it's true. I think this is one of the least thought out comments I've ever read. Maybe this is a little bit too harsh. Maybe I should delete this or edit this, because I do feel a little bit bad about being that harsh about it. But that's just how I feel, right? It is true. It is true that it's one of the least thought out comments I've ever read, and they're literally making excuses for why they can't get started. So, I mean, that's the number one mistake I see people making with dropshipping. That was kind of the point of this video, is that so many of you guys out there are making excuses. And I called out some of you in this video. Again, I don't like to be too harsh. This one is probably laying on too thick. If you've been making excuses, that's totally fine, guys. I mean, I've been there myself. When I was getting started with dropshipping, I made excuses. I saw things like, hey, someone's going to get it in a Home Depot box or Walmart box, and they're going to be upset by this, right? And that sort of paralyzed me. Or kind of feeling overwhelmed with the software, that kind of paralyzed me. But I'm telling you guys, if you get started, the first step might feel so hard, and the second step might feel so hard. You just gotta push forward. The reason people fail at this is because of procrastination. You have a plan. I outline plans for you here on YouTube, or members of Dropshipping Titans have a plan. All you have to do is execute on that plan, and you have to avoid that procrastination, and you have to actually get started. That's the number one mistake I see with dropshipping. Don't let all this fear, this uncertainty, all this doubt weigh on you and prevent you from moving forward, because that's all procrastination is all that fear, uncertainty, and doubt sort of preventing you from moving forward. After all, if you knew for 100% certainty that if you try dropshipping, you would be enormously successful with it, I think you would be much more apt to move forward a lot faster. But because there is that uncertainty, and there's no way to eliminate that. You will be uncertain going into it. You will have some fear. You will have some doubt as you are going into it. That is inevitable. There's no way to get rid of that. That is human. But you have to push through that anyway. And that's the literal definition of courage. Courage is not being fearless. It's having fear and pushing through anyway. So that's sort of my message for you guys today. And again, that's the number one mistake I see people making with dropshipping, is just not getting started and letting all of that fear sort of paralyze you. Don't let that happen, guys, because every successful entrepreneur that you see out there, they all started where you are right now, and there's really no reason why you can't be just as successful as them. So sorry if this was a bit more of a rant in this video, but I think maybe I was in a bad mood or something today. I'm going to delete this comment. I don't know. I'll decide. Let me know in the comment section if I should delete this comment or not. And I promise you guys, I will be nice to you guys in the comments. I am nice to over 99% of the comments that I get. Even if people are being mean to me in the comments, I'm usually nice back, because I don't really see the point in fighting in the comments. But sometimes, I don't know. This one just bugged me because they were talking about egg prices and I didn't see the relevance of it. Anyway, guys, sorry for the rambling. Thanks so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I promise most of my videos are more tutorial style, more showing you guys how to actually get in there and build and start dropshipping stores. So if that is relevant to you, make sure to subscribe, and then I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.